What's going on, everybody? It's Brian Trippe. We are back at the law offices of Jeff W. Parmer. We are here with Jeff Parmer, our Alaria sponsored real estate attorney, closing attorney, and we've been asking Jeff a lot of specific questions every week. Hopefully you've been tuning in. And right now we're going over the 3 challenges. I asked Jeff a couple of weeks ago, what are your biggest challenges you see with working with a wholesaler, like getting some of these properties, trying to close some of these deals for you guys? This is really designed, this little 3-part series is designed to help you, the wholesaler, speed up the process. We all want our checks quicker. We all want to get to the closing table quicker. We all want to be able to tell our sellers, yeah, we're going to be able to close this thing in 7 to 10 days, and we want to close as fast as possible. But Jeff, and really any closing attorney, is going to have a hard time doing that for you if you don't help him. So we're going over the top 3 challenges, and we went over last week just the fact that if you have any information about a situation where maybe that the seller could have been deceased and there's something going on where we don't know how the title has actually changed hands. If you have any information regarding that, get that to your closing attorney. Hopefully it's Jeff. Get that to your closing attorney as soon as possible so they can work through those title issues. That was the number 1 challenge that Jeff saw. Number 2, Jeff, I'm going to let you introduce it.
Sure.
What's the second biggest challenge that you see working with some wholesalers?
I would say the second biggest challenge that we have are judgments, tax liens against the seller. When the title commitment comes back, we're finding items that maybe the seller didn't know were recorded against him. Maybe they thought they'd been taken care of, and maybe they have been taken care of but have not been released of record at the probate office. So those are several things that can hinder a closing until we get them resolved.
And what can we do? What can I, the wholesaler, do to help that process?
Well, I know it's an awkward conversation sometimes between a wholesaler and a seller about, do you have judgments against you? Are your income taxes paid? And that may not be something that you feel comfortable asking. But any information that the wholesaler has about whether the person does have judgments that are outstanding, even if it's a mortgage, or just a regular mortgage outstanding, any outstanding items against the seller would be helpful for us to know that.
Right. Otherwise, you have to kind of go through your discovery process,
Right.
and I just based on my experience, there might be it's that name that you found,
Exactly.
and you don't know exactly. Talk about that for a second.
Yeah, you make a good point there. A lot of the time, especially if the seller has a rather common name like Joe Smith or something like that, there could be judgments against other individuals with the same name, and we just have to confirm that those judgments are not against the same person as the seller. Typically, to do that, we'll request the seller's social security number to be able to verify whether that's one and the same person or not. So that's, if there's ever a request for the seller's social, that's the reason that we're asking for it.
So just listen to you talk. I don't think it's probably wise before you get the contract to start having these conversations. Once you've got the contract signed, and I'm getting this stuff over to Jeff and getting it over to my closing attorney, you guys are going to start to uncover some stuff. I might go back and have that conversation with them later.
Yes.
Now that might slow down the closing process a little bit, but I don't want to jeopardize potentially having a kind of an awkward conversation that I don't need to do. So
completely understand that.
I would feel like it's better for me to let you talk or let someone from your office talk directly with the seller in that case. Is that something that you guys could do?
Perfectly willing to do that, especially when it comes time to request sensitive information like social security numbers and so forth. I think the best practice there is to, give us the contact information for the seller, let us deal directly with the seller.
Totally. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And in a previous video a few weeks ago, we actually talked about that, where some of the items that you need to be getting to your closing attorney include the seller's contact information and the end buyer's contact information. This is vital information that you need to get to your closing attorney if you want that closing to happen quicker than what you think it should be taken. So guys, thank you for tuning in this week for another great video from Jeff Parmer, and we're going to see you again next week.